Good evening. You are listening to... And when the sky falls again, we shall be prepared!
Hi everybody, we are live. I'm totally not making like robotic sex noises.
And the synth isn't even here.
I know. Yeah. I had to fill our spot. So, how's everybody today?
Not bad, not bad.
Really, really good.
Excellent, excellent. So
I'm incredibly pumped.
I'm so happy for this occasion right now. So we got a couple people that haven't been on before. Kind of curious about them. But let's just go ahead and go around real quick. We'll do a quick intro since, like I said, we got a couple people here. So Adam, bring us in.
Hi everybody, how's it going? I'm Adam. I will be playing Isaac Blackwell today. And I'm excited because we ended a little bit of a cliffhanger last session. I'm not being chased by a giant mutant squirrel at all.
Now multiple ones, maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, no, I'm really excited to be playing today. It's like half of my games for this week are not happening, so I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. How about you, Arlie?
Hey folks, I'm Arlie. I'm playing Maxwell Creve, the ghoul chemist who is totally not making anything of a questionable content while everyone else is busy running for their lives.
I'm not eating your people stew.
It's not a people stew, I promise.
Or soup.
I emphasize people because that implies multiple.
Wow.
Person stew.
Person stew. All right. Hannah, did I tell everybody who you are?
So, my name's Hannah, and I'm playing Fancy Moncrief, who is not with the group yet, so you guys don't know too much about her at all. Surprises! Yay! We'll see how she comes into this.
And we have a special guest today taking Chaotic Anarchy's place, Mr. Dave Lee, aka Nidal.
Hello, hello. Yes, I'm going to be doing a little guest star appearance today. I'm really excited. I'm a huge Fallout fan. I've been watching this stream and enjoying it. It's awesome. And the chance to play some 5e Fallout is just, oh my gosh. The first thing I have to do, everyone, is show you my my drink holder here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's how big I'm a pretty big Fallout nerd. But yes, I'm excited to be here. I'll be playing Father Nidal today. And yeah, I'm not going to give out too much info until he shows up.
Nah, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want any spoiler alerts here.
So I believe we had an interesting session last time. The easiest way to put it. I don't know. It ranged from getting a water purification system set up to the questionable sexual reproduction of radiated squirrels and how to harvest them.
Logistics of squirrel ranching. Yes.
Yeah, it was a strange thing to DM, but. At the end of it, Triniti kind of disappeared into the woods there, and Mr. Isaac, he decided to grab some veggies from the garden. A garden that belonged to some rather unhappy, large rodents of unusual size. And they are currently chasing you.
Uh-huh.
So you know what that means we get to do?
Initiative.
Yeah, we get to roll initiative.
That's not bad. 19.
19.
Yeah.
Shelby got a 10. Okay. It looks like the squirrel is going to get before you. You probably are a good 150 feet away from the main entrance to the mine. Between you and that is just forest.
Okay.
You have probably a good 60 feet gain on this thing. It makes it to you in the first round, just booking, kicking up dirt as it runs. You look at this thing, it's got patches of hair missing. It's almost like one of those naked mole rat kind of looking things. Quite terrifying looking. And hissing and screaming with these black eyes just staring at you widely. It is your turn, and you are set upon.
I'm running.
You are running.
I am full withdrawing. I am dashing. Full double movement.
Okay,
all
so
that
you're gonna use
lovely thing.
You're going to use your turn to disengage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then running. Yeah. And like. Is it? Am I currently like in wooded area forest, or is this like a small clearing?
It's you've come from the main area where the farmland was, and you were driving into the forest towards the encampment. As quick as this thing is moving, you're gonna guess that it's probably going to be on you again next turn.
Yep. Yeah. I'm just going to run.
Alrighty.
And I am also, let's see, I need to check something. Oh, excuse me, real quick. Okay. And I'm also going to have, Mel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what is her. Okay, she's 30. She is going to be she's gonna shoot it, move 30 feet and then shoot at it
Okay, go for it.
with her little laser tiny itty bitty gun. So that will be a 14 to hit.
A 14 to hit will not hit.
Whoa.
Hey.
It is very quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all we will do.
Alrighty. So next turn, it runs after you still. And it is going to catch you this turn.
Yep.
And it reaches forward with these long, they're not sharp teeth, but the large blunt teeth.
Yep.
And reaches at you. Does a 19 hit you by chance?
Yep.
Okay.
You getting beat up by Rocky and Bullwinkle here?
Ooh, you're going to take 7 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
That is not good.
It is your turn.
Hey, I am going to shoot this thing.
Okay. You're at close range, so you will have a disadvantage on this.
Yep. And that is going to be a 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Gotta get my D4s because one's over there because I stepped on it before the stream and went ow. Hey, that is going to be 11 points of damage
Nice.
as I unload part of my shotgun into it. And then Mel is going to smack him with her tiny little built-in melee weapon.
Okay, go for it.
That is going to be an 18 to hit.
That will hit as well.
And that will be 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Excellent.
And I am probably dead.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
Alright. That is going to be a 16?
A 16.
Yes, a 16.
Okay. You are just setting up on this thing with your gun. It's snapping at your face. You're trying to push it off as best you can with your gun. And you see a figure off to your left, probably about 20 feet away. Hannah, would you like to describe your character?
The figure you see is wearing a dress and a green coat over it. Might have a gray collar.
Might have one.
Might have one. She has a bow drawn and is pointed right towards you. Or towards the beast that is trying to kill you. One of the two.
Hopefully not me.
She's not really sure at the moment.
And speaking of Fancy, it is your turn in the combat round.
My turn?
Yes, it is.
You rolled for me?
I rolled for you.
Oh, fantastic. That's gonna be a 19.
That will definitely be a hit.
I'm sure. Yeah, I was also aiming at the beast, not at your party member.
Oh, okay, well, unfortunately that still does hit.
I just
Oh, then it doesn't hit.
Get a D10 here. That would be 8.
Okay, 8 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay. Still looks like it's fairly hardy.
That's not much.
Why don't you give me a perception check?
Me?
Yes, please.
16.
16. Mr. Dave,
Yes.
where are you at in this?
Actually, I'm off to the side, probably about 20 feet. So you look across, and you see a human male. He's about 6 feet tall. He has long, jet black hair, in a lab coat. But the noticeable feature on him is he has a tattoo on his forehead of the radiation symbol that you would see on any, barrel of radioactive material. And he's sitting there, and in his hand is a humongous hand cannon, a big old 44 mag revolver. And he looks at the creature down there, looks at you all, and he's like, "Hello, child." He's like, "This creature right here before me is far past redemption." Boom! And he fires on it.
Excellent.
Here we go. Come on, baby. I'm using my tabletop loot dice that I got from Gen Con. Come on, baby. And I got a 7.
That is
All
definitely
that for a
nice.
big old miss. Boom! It actually scared him a little bit. He's like, "Oh!"
It's canon
Oh.
with this game's luck with hand cannons. Rest in peace, Shelby.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, that bugger is a little hard to hit.
So that resounding sound echoes throughout the trees, sending various birds just flying out in all directions. I think they'll take us to the top of the round. Where is Mr. Rad Squirrel? I don't think a 10's going to hit you.
No.
It snaps at you and just sort of like drive like the barrel of the shotgun into its mouth and push it off. It's your turn.
Okay. I am going to smack it with a hammer.
Okay.
Crush that thing.
Smack it with a hammer.
That is going to be a 23 to hit
Bravo.
Yeah, that'll hit.
and 6 points of damage.
Nice.
And Mel will take a swack at it too.
Alrighty.
That will be a 14 to hit for my
That
little.
will miss.
Yep.
And that's going to bring us to Fancy.
Bow still drawn. Fancy's gonna pull back and take another hit. She's gonna tell you though to get the hell out of the way as she makes a 16.
That will hit.
Nice.
Hell yeah. And that would be 9. Ooh, 9. Good number.
Fancy, how would you like to end this combat?
As she pulls back her bow and is about to let it go, She aims it right at the creature's eye, and she says, "Good night, motherfucker."
An appropriate end to that vile creature.
So that arrow goes whistling through the air, pierces the black iris, and there's just visual purple and blood draining down the side of this thing's bare skin as it flops over to its side, twitching. Its last throes of death. And we are out of initiative.
Well, I put my hand cannon away inside of my robe, and I'm all, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance there, children. My name is Father Nidal, and I am, well, I would say I'm the prophet of the church along the way over there. The Church of the Burning Nucleus, yes. And who might you be?
Isaac is still just like in shock and covered in blood and guts, and he's getting slightly used to this, and that kind of terrifies him.
Fancy is not going to acknowledge the man who spoke to her. She is intent on retrieving her bows and her arrows, and has already slipped her bow back into her coat, and is pretty much ignoring everyone. And she kind of glances down at the little boy on the ground, and is kind of like, nope, don't care. As she's like pulling her arrow out of the creature.
Okay. So you can mark back your 2 arrows.
Oh, yeah, there.
Isaac. And he'll like hold up a hand towards him, like. And I just remembered Isaac's hands are and like forearms are still completely covered in blood from earlier. So I'm looking even more horrific. But Isaac is also wearing a lab coat. So
Very cool. I think we have some common ground we found there, Isaac. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. You look like you've had a go of things. What is going on with you?
well, there is that thing.
Are there more?
Yes. There's
Maybe we should move on.
2 of them. I
And
think.
we're in the woods right now, right?
Yes.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
It's still daytime.
Daytime.
We should probably go back, and Isaac will point towards the entry of the mine.
I wholeheartedly agree. Now, our friend over here is a lady of few words. Would you like to accompany us there, ma'am?
Do I want to go with the 2 of you into a mine?
We
get
have
away from
purified
these-
water.
Oh.
I don't care if you've got gold from the heavens in there, son. I am not going with the 2 of you into any kind of dark place like that. That is not happening. However, what's wrong with you? You seem unusually dirty. You're covered in blood, son.
I cut off a man's leg because it was infected, and if I didn't, the infection would have spread and he would have died.
Did he survive your attempt
Yeah.
at medicine?
I'm actually really good at it.
Uh-huh.
You can come see him if you want. There was a guy who was working on him before. He didn't know what he was doing. He probably almost killed him, but he's gonna make it now.
Are there more of you? Or is it just you?
There's a settlement. I'm not really part. I'm just helping him out.
Being attacked by creatures by yourself.
Food. I was getting food. I'm gonna look around and see if I can spot Triniti at all.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
That is going to be a 24.
No, actually, you cannot see her.
And there was Triniti, but I can't see her anymore. She was a robot.
Is she in that cave?
No, she was out here with me.
Was she out here like I'm out here, or was she out here like in here?
Hey, she was walking around out here.
Okay. I look over at our other new person.
Father Nidal.
I don't want to call you father.
Oh, child, please.
And I'll just kind of look at him and just be like, passing through.
I am. I'm actually in search of my congregation. They were chased right out of my church by a pack of ghouls. And I'm really fretting this situation, too, because my choir, I have a whole sweet little choir full of little angels who sing with just amazing voices, and they're gone, too.
We may have exploded them. The ghouls, not the choir.
You dispatched with the... Do you know where the ghouls are? Because I would love to find
everywhere?
My congregation. Everywhere.
That's what happens when you explode things.
So, young child, where's your daddy and mama?
Dad's dead. Mom is with the rest of the followers.
How old are you supposed to be?
I am a very, very naive and inexperienced 22, I think. Maybe 21.
Okay. Got it.
Followers of the Apocalypse has been kept away from everyone for his entire life, pretty much. Except for books. But they said I needed to see a little bit of the world and help out. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm helping.
And a fine job you're doing, I'm sure.
Lying to the boy ain't gonna do him any good.
Oh, now
Well,
shush
so
now.
far I've saved one person. Same as you.
You cut off a man's leg?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't really feel right leaving you out here. I don't know if you can make it without your robot friend. So maybe we should go back with
Sure.
you
Come on.
somewhere.
I think I'll join in too if it all, isn't disagreeable with y'all.
I don't really see it. I mean, as long as you don't try to do anything horrible to them, they'll probably be okay with it.
Oh, no, you have nothing to worry about.
I've heard that before. And Isaac will turn and start leading them towards the mine.
Okay. So you guys turn your back on the river, on the field, on the trees, as night is not quite come, but definitely the sun is starting to sink into the sky. Let's see here. As you guys approach the mine entrance, how about Fancy? Why don't you go ahead and give me a history check, as you see a symbol painted on the outside of the main door into this mine.
That's a natural one.
Okay.
Nat 1!
You're staring.
Boy, howdy, this is the place.
You are staring at the sign, and it looks like it's 8 lines, almost like a sun, and it's got a plus sign in the middle of it. But you think you've seen it before, but you're not quite sure where. Dave, do you want to go and give me a history check?
History, hold on. Let me see if I got that. I do not. Okay, and that's intelligence based, so here we go. And I got wait for it. Ooh, 19.
A 19. Nice.
Ooh. I do know those. I do know some things.
You're familiar with the Railroad, which is a group that likes to get synths and other creatures from one part of the wasteland to the other, harassment-free.
Mm-hmm.
You also know they're good at locating people as well. So it might be pertinent in your case.
Are we in their territory? Is that what you're saying?
It looks like the sign itself shows that this place is an ally of the Railroad.
Okay, cool.
So you guys descend.
Yeah, and I share that information too with everyone, so you all know the same thing I know.
Cool.
So you guys open or go past the main steel doors here and descend down into the shaft. The ceiling's probably maybe 8 feet tall. Like, this is an old mining area, so they're not made to be large by any means, but it's wide, and they have sort of this little encampment set up in here with a main room with tables where people sit and, socialize as best they can in the area that they're in. You guys actually passed a purification system that was made by the party last session on your way down here, and people seem to have been using that to great use, having clean and irradiated water for the first time in a long time.
A little radiation now and then didn't hurt anyone.
A lot does.
As I pass I'm gonna look at Isaac and I'm gonna just kind of point, like, that's all. I'm not actually gonna say anything. I don't want to actually embarrass him, but just kind of, you need it.
Right. Yeah, Isaac will minimum amount of water on a washcloth and just scrub the blood off of his arms at the very least.
Okay. You can get it off your flesh, of course, but your clothing's probably ruined for...
It's probably a bit stained.
Yeah. So you guys have congregated down here. There's... I guess, are you going to use those vegetables to some degree to give them to Maxwell?
Yep. I'll search out our ghoulish friend.
Okay.
By the way, question. For cooking checks, are you able to just take 10 on that if, you're left to your own devices for long enough?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Oh, good.
So, Maxwell, you see Isaac, who has returned from outside. You do not see Trinity, but you do see two new faces. Isaac has somewhat cleaned out the blood off of him, but he's holding some of the leftover spring onions in his hands.
I brought you stuff. I don't know where Trinity is. She disappeared.
That, not the most promising track record when we lose people whenever we venture.
Well,
anywhere.
I mean, usually it's only bad news if we actually see them explode.
In our defense, we didn't directly see Shelby explode. He collapsed through the floor of the boat first, and then it exploded. And then
True.
the ship exploded.
True.
He could have survived that.
Not true.
Anyways, I've been cooking some things. There's a nice soup going on here right now. It's fairly meager, really, but
Did you use the chum?
No. See, okay, so just to give some backdrop to this, what I did do is I fried the Shelby bits and took basically the gravy from that and put half of that into the soup to sort of help build the broth. And then the other half I used to fry the chum and made it into sliced fried food, so it had more of a, because it already had jerky in it, so giving it a nice dry deep fried quality, and Shelby seemed appropriate. But then I just stuck.
What did you do, son?
What is this?
Don't say that. It's chum. It's like jerky and more bread. They have no food here.
Well, it certainly smells delicious.
Maxwell,
What?
why don't you
It's
tell these
also
two what you actually look like, too, while you're at it?
Oh, God. So, incidentally, he looks worse than jerky, because he's a ghoul. So he looks specifically like, God damn it, I keep forgetting his riffraff from Rocky Horror Picture Show, but a ghoul. So rotting flesh and the hairline, the hair's there and everything, but the skin is sunken in with this jerky sort of appearance to it. And he's just wearing a radiation. Looks worse than the food he made. The food he made at least has a nice crispy caramelization around it from fats. No. And then radiation that there has a hi, my name is, and the name's been sort of smeared over time. And there's probably a helmet somewhere, but he's clearly misplaced it because, you get to look at a face that it might be more appealing if you had a ball sack for a face, which I think is what you were mentioning. But yeah, he's just
So you're handsome.
Oh,
He's a looker.
very. That charisma of 7 didn't come from nowhere.
Nice. Well, I go to the food and I mind if I try some of your delicious prep meal here?
Feel free to have some of this first, since you just brought onions. I'm gonna put those into the soup first and make sure that it's finished up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Father Nidal, and I am the high priest over at the church across the way. And is there any more people here, or is this it? I expected a
there's
much
more.
larger gathering.
There's a fair number more. I can certainly approve of a man of faith, however, just like looking up at your...
Oh, yes.
And he just gives a very like slow nod there, and then
Right
like,
on.
and he like sort of touches again at the rad suit that he's wearing in the symbol there.
And I look at you, I'm like, are you a child? One of the children?
Try not to draw too much attention to that, but yes.
Oh, this is just a blessed day today. Blessed day.
Oh,
We shall
Isaac,
have plenty
like,
to talk about.
I like it's the sliced chum bits. I'm just offering it, and it's
I need
this
to.
one's nice. And
I need to
fresh.
find Preacher and let him know that Trinity's missing.
Oh, quite yeah. Because I was about to be like, you could tell Destiny, and then I'm like, but she can't talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try and find him. You guys enjoy food,
Okay.
So what's the food taste like?
people.
Well, this one's up to save because it originally,
I don't know.
The chum was
tastes like
originally
chum?
terrible.
It
Tastes like chicken.
On a scale 1 to 10, it's about a 7. It's not too bad. For the wasteland, it's pretty good eating.
So, considering I like almost failed that before, I now know that deep frying things in human fat is a great way to like taste to just drown out all the taste. I obviously don't say that. Because
Yeah, I was wondering.
But no, it's just like you watch like Maxwell making out stuff. Deep frying things works quite well.
Well, I'm eating it. Finger looking good.
Is anybody else eating this mixture?
I have to cook my soup first. I mean, I'll take a slice of it and eat it.
Okay. Dave, why don't you go and give me a con check? Actually, a constitution saving throw.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it if it's radiation based? I get proficiency. Is it radiation based?
In this case, yes.
Okay.
Sweet.
Nice. Okay, here I go then. Oh, 21.
Okay.
Yeah, I got an
You
ironclad stomach.
You are good.
I'm all
You're just
burnt.
like, man, seconds?
Yeah, totally.
Very spicy.
This is delicious. Want to spread this on a platter and soak it up with a biscuit.
Nice.
You know,
So creepy.
there is going to be the soup to dip it in.
What's that?
There is going to be the soup to dip it in when it's done. I may as well just sort of slice this up and share it around first.
Well, then I will wait
It's
for
not
the main
processing for him like, it is irradiated as shit.
The smell of food has sort of brought more people around. Some more that inhabitants of Crumb have approached, and some eagerly looking, some not so eagerly looking after they actually see what's in the pot. Isaac, you don't have to go looking for Preacher, because Preacher does come up in turn with the Destiny at his side, sort of gazing over this pot and confused with what he's looking at.
Hi. We brought down some vegetables. He had some chum with him. Trinity's gone missing. She was up. There was squirrels, and they attacked, and I almost died.
So the funny one's missing, eh?
Funny, yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's good.
And also, those two saved me. And
Yeah.
Isaac will point out new companions.
Okay. He looks over at Fancy and sort of nods to her. Looks over at Nidal and sort of notices the mark on his head.
And now he said he's father also, like as in a man of the cloth?
He goes by the name Preacher.
Preacher, okay. Kind of like the comic book.
Sort of.
It's a good comic book. I haven't read it.
With your knowledge of the railroad, they tend to take names that suit them.
I see.
So
There's a little...
he might have been at one point, unsure.
Well, I speak up and I'm like, well, with your Trinity gone missing, I have a whole entire congregation that's gone missing. Maybe we can work together and find our missing brothers and sisters and children. I'd be willing to part ways with this. And I reach into my lab coat in one of my pockets and I pull out a fusion core. And I'm like, I hold it up. I'm like, if we could recover my congregation, I'd be more than willing to part ways with this.
I mean, if you're willing to help us, I'm at least willing to help you.
Well, that's just fantastic.
I do believe there was only one pressing matter we had left to address here, other than ascertaining where the ghouls were arriving from. The
Yes.
hydroponics.
Yes.
The what?
We were going to figure out a lighting system for inside so they could grow a garden that wouldn't make them prey to giant squirrels that are actually still feasibly useful as a secondary food source.
Very good. Well, this fusion core shall come in very handy, I imagine.
Could Isaac do some like science or something to think of some possible ways of getting this all to work?
Getting the hydroponics to work?
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, we figured a way.
yeah,
of
you made that
it.
check last game, if I remember correctly.
I like with the fusion core.
With the fusion core, I mean, certainly could power it, but it's not going
We
to.
need the lights.
You need the equipment for the photosynthesis and all that.
Alright.
Preacher looks over at this fusion core. His eyes are sort of lingering upon it. We could really use that here. Looking back
Well, like
over.
I said, help me find my congregation and it's yours.
Look, folks, you said you were wanting to help out as much as you could.
Yeah.
We could really use that core.
Okay.
I hate to ask you to do this, but
I'm gonna need at least a nap first, though. Like, Isaac is still like suffering from very large slashes and bite marks.
Oh,
Yeah, leave it in
actually,
the...
He like, you see like Maxwell like pause from cooking. He like, try this. It's like just a vial of something.
What is it?
It should do you right for all them nasty wounds you got.
Can I make an insight check to make sure it's not something horrific?
go for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 22.
Maxwell?
It'll do him right. I was not lying.
You feel that he's telling the truth.
Alright. I'll drink it.
Okay, alchemical formula healing draught. Roll yourself a 1d8.
Alright. 8!
You just recovered 8 health.
Wow, bam.
I'm up to full.
Excellent.
That wasn't terrible. Thank you.
Good. The cooking helped then. I used some of the soup broth in this. Figured that'd help with the aftertaste.
I'm gonna do what the video game does. You pause it, and eat a bunch of food, ding, 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 and then unpause the game. Sorry.
No problem.
So, are we addressing the lights first since we're here, or are we venturing onwards?
I mean, I don't know if we can find anything immediately.
It's becoming evening, So venturing out to find a congregation at the evening with wailing cannibals and
That
Squirrels.
does sound like a
Really
horrible
big
idea.
Squirrels.
Yes, let's not go out in the middle of the darkness now.
but we could, I feel, probably plunge a little bit deeper into the depths of the mine to find materials that were there in relative safety. It's always going to be as dark as it's going to be in the mines.
True.
I can't argue with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, and you know, once Maxwell's like done, it's like, okay, I believe this is cooked enough, so soup's on. Enjoy.
Nice.
If you'd like, the soup's here. I would highly suggest the fried bread to go along with it. You may dip it in. We're going to be venturing back, and please don't eat all of it, because we'll probably be hungry when we're done.
French dips.
So you guys are plotting to go down into the mines. Fancy, this man preacher walks towards you. You see he's got like flannel and like the denim ripped jeans and the little cowboy hat with the sides flipped up. Looks like a good old boy. He has like this laser rifle, always just tucked on his shoulder right there on his clavicle. And he looks up to you. Don't remember seeing you around these parts before. You got a name?
She kind of looks him over. In no way is she impressed at all. Actually, she just outright hates him already. And she kind of like pulls like her hair back a little bit, and by doing that she kind of gently, her coat kind of opens. You can see that she's heavily armed. It's just all kind of hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of tilts her head a little bit and says, "My name is Fancy Moncrief, and I'm not from these parts."
You look to be a dangerous woman. So what are you doing here in Crumb?
I was worried about that boy over there. No one seemed to be looking after him. He doesn't seem too bright.
Well, that is not an incorrect statement, but how long
That's
do
how
you...
That's how you talk about people in your group?
He's not technically in my group. But they just arrived yesterday.
What are you doing here in this mine?
It's the only safe haven for miles around here.
How
Go.
far have you been into it?
Not far. There's very unsafe structures down there. Wouldn't want a chance losing somebody.
And you think this core he can give you is gonna help you in some way?
Well, it would help run some of the facilities here in the mine. Maybe find us another way out of here. Safer way. Run some of these machines. Or perhaps just run the irrigation system. We can find many uses for a fusion core.
Can I roll a perception check to see if he's lying?
You can roll me an insight check.
Sure, that one too. 17.
17. There is truth to his words, but perhaps something lying underneath of that as well.
Okay.
You feel perhaps he's being honest, but he's not being completely honest, just out of distrust.
He's not being forthright.
Right.
That's a big college word.
I'm from the big city, homeboy.
So how long you plan on staying here?
I'm just passing through. Worried about him. I'm intrigued about what's happening here. I'm not planning on staying, though.
Intrigued in what way, ma'am?
you know, congregations disappearing from someone who has a core hanging out. And yeah, it's all interesting.
Well, I don't know much about that church, other than a bunch of snake handlers. Can't say that I trust them entirely, but I'm not going to turn down a fusion core. I would think you would understand that.
I don't blame you for that, but I'm curious about the longevity of this setup in this mine here.
Yes.
And, I don't want that boy to die.
Well, ma'am, I
He's
don't...
as smart as he says he is. He probably will be valuable, and no one was watching him.
Yes, I appreciate the efforts of trying to make this place better, but this cannot be a permanent outpost. Not here. But we need safe passage, and with the amount of ghoul that are out there now, it makes it next to impossible to move the entire settlement.
Where are you wanting to move it to?
We'd like to move it up the river, towards the old Huntington area.
Came from there. Well, I might hang around long enough just to make sure that I'm okay with leaving this group behind. Why do they call you preacher, though?
I used to be one back in the day.
Of what variety?
Well, I used to follow the children of Adam back in my day. Found the company a little distasteful.
Weren't they a cult?
You could say that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Which gives me greater pause with the father that has just arrived.
Well, I mean, snake handlers, snake oil, liars, they're all the same. But, that being said, maybe he does have people who genuinely need help.
That is possible. And the railroad does not like to turn people down who need help.
That's probably the last shred of nobility and dignity in this damn land.
Well, just because I gave up the title of preacher doesn't mean that I still don't care.
That is yet to be seen. But we should probably allow them to go and look for more resources while they can.
Ma'am, you seem to be a very level-headed and strong individual. If you have any say whatsoever, please do not let them go down any further. I cannot stop them by any means, but I cannot guarantee anyone's safety down there.
And your hesitation is due to the compromised structure, or?
This mine has been here long before the war. Bolts rust, as do wood rot.
See what I can do.
That would be appreciated. Till then, make home as long as you wish.
I walk over to Isaac and I pull a little flip book out of my jacket that I'd been saving. And it's a little flip book that depicts like a little kid by his house, like playing from, you know, what would be like our 60s. And I hand it to him and show him how to flip it.
Yeah,
There you go.
Cool. Thanks.
When I see he does not appreciate it or think
Like he thinks it's cool, but like it was more like a I know how these things work.
Yeah. I kind of take it back from him, put it back in my pocket. And
Isaac will pull out his like notebook and be like, I just draw pictures in mine, and it's like very detailed, like scientific, like anatomical drawings of things. And he'll
If
just
I
be
find
like,
you a hat with a propeller on it, I'll let you know.
that'd be cool.
We'd likely find him again easier.
Yeah. So,
shall we?
yeah, I want to stop by the hospital on our way by, down, and just check on, see how he's doing.
Okay.
If you're not in there, does that make it a hospital or an abattoir if the other one's in charge? Just curious.
I think it just makes it a part of the mine with curtains.
Hmm.
That is not incorrect. So you guys are deciding to go down to the mines.
Oh yeah. What could go wrong? One of us had to ask.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that you three have decided to. What is Fancy deciding to do?
She's going to walk with them, but very cautiously.
Okay.
She's not going to relay Preacher's message to them yet. She's gonna wait.
Okay. You all start to make yourselves deeper into this mine. Before exiting the main chamber here, Isaac, you stop by the little hospital.
And talk to the doctor.
Right. Where Eustace is looking over, I believe his name was Hartzell, is that what I called him? Who's laying on the table. He seems to be conscious. And they're just sort of like talking back and forth as Eustace is changing these bandages. Following your instructions quite to the letter.
Good. That's mainly what Isaac wanted to check in on.
Deal.
How's he doing?
He's like, I'm here right now. You don't have to like talk about me like I'm not laying here.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm obliged to you. I wish you hadn't took my leg off though.
Me too. But if I didn't, you'd be dead.
Well, I won't be running from any ghouls, that's for sure.
Hopefully you won't have to.
He sort of lays back and sighs, closing his eyes. Eustace walks towards you. Don't mind him. He's just
Lost a leg.
yeah. The kindest way to put it, yes. Yes, he's lost a leg. But he's fine. He'll be
Awesome.
fine.
Thank you. And then I'll rejoin the others.
Okay. Descending. You all find yourselves to what looks to have been an old lift of sorts. Rusted metal gate with little pulley door that you can all step into. It's got some power going to it at the time being. You're suspecting probably ran on some sort of old backup core or coal. You're not quite sure exactly what's running it, but it looks very unsafe, to be honest with you, but functional.
You said it looks like it was running on something, but, you know, a backup. Is there any way that you could make a mechanical check to see if we could find where? Because if there's something accessible, we currently sort of have a core on hand that we could power things up with.
And
Even if just temporarily.
I can give assistance because, mechanics.
Okay.
Nice.
Wait, so who's rolling? You?
Do you want me to roll it?
Yeah.
You can roll it with advantage.
and maybe to check the integrity of this device as well.
Okay, I'm glad I had advantage. That will be a 22.
22.
Yep. The other one was a 2.
Wow.
That's a big
Wow.
difference. You
Oh, I let you use my mechanics tools for this.
Whoa.
I got my own.
Sharing is caring.
got my own. Shit. So you pull open the panel on this thing and look inside, and you actually do see what seems to be an old, nearly depleted core.
Nearly depleted, so this one's not even fully dead.
Not fully.
But yeah, we could
It's
use
only mostly dead.
only. That means though, this one still might possibly be useful. I wouldn't trust it to run this,
Mm-hmm.
but we can. Just casually, like Maxwell, like reaches in and goes to like disengage it and pocket the mostly depleted core, and if the good father would be so kind as perhaps aid us in this endeavor, we'll
Oh,
temporarily.
I'm entirely agreeable with this course of action. And I pull out the core and put it in and...
You put the core in, and not only does the elevator come to life once more, but you see lights start to flash as they go further down,
Nice.
down, lighting up the chimney that this thing is going down into.
How deep does this thing look?
Yes. Good question.
Taking a look, it looks like it descends for a good 200 feet, perhaps more.
That's really far.
And I asked the mechanics, now what do you think our chances of a trip down there is in this contraption?
That's a good idea. In its currently properly powered state, and due to the nature of our roles and working together, what do we think our odds are?
We gonna die? Are we gonna die?
On a scale of
1 to death.
The cables are old. They are rusted and somewhat splitting in parts.
Well, I know that you didn't ask me what I thought about it, but as I'm also proficient in these things, I disagree that this is something we should do, and I think that it would be wise to disengage.
Oh wait, secondary thought. Now the cable on the elevator itself is rusted, right? Is there an emergency ladder near the thing going down?
You do not see one, actually.
Okay.
Now, Miss Moncrief here disagrees and thinks we shouldn't go down.
I mean, look at the cables. It's 200 feet. That's not safe.
I can appreciate you wanting to endeavor to find more resources. I think that's obviously important, but I do not think you should do it and potentially get stranded and no one can get to you, or fighting to have to get through the mine. I mean, we do not know the state of the rest of this structure. There's no reason to put yourselves in that kind of danger. Not when we have this other thing we need to do in trying to find his missing congregation.
This is
And I will agree with Miss Moncrief here too, because I'm a little scared of her too. So she might kill me in the night.
Isaac, you made the notes, correct? For the map and where the relative ghoul is.
Right, I did. Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, this is why we're all so hesitant, is because, and there's just map of like how much of this area is supposedly ghoul infested.
And it's like all of it.
Aren't they your people? Can't you talk to them?
They don't really talk. They just kind of go, ah!
I would say that talking to them would be like talking to a rabid wolf at this point. The only thing that would
So they're not like
possibly-
you. We aren't
No.
talking about like rival groups here. We're talking true ghouls.
Feral.
Feral ghouls. Yes. Okay.
Long driven mad by hunger and what else?
Oh, I'm sure they wouldn't mind a tasty snack like you guys walking down there for sure. They won't be thrilled.
Which is why this seemed like a less daunting prospect than... Oh, and there was a vault in that area which they might have cracked. They could also be the members of that vault. We don't know. We don't know the exact number of them, but having blown up a good, what?
Lots.
Like 20 of them on the boat, and
There
then
was a
more that
lot.
we shot. And this doesn't seem to have dented their numbers at all. The people here are still in terror. We're looking at probably hundreds, if that kind of victory seems like a drop in the bucket. 200 feet doesn't seem so bad compared to that.
We
It
haven't
still
died
seems
yet.
really.
It does not seem good. But we can either take the evening to prepare ourselves and try to figure out a foray into what you think might be the most logical. How did your congregation even disappear?
The ghouls chased him out, like I said earlier. Oh, you weren't there. I do apologize. Yes, the ghouls chased them off.
Okay, and
Do you know the direction that they chased them off to?
Let me find out. Do I know the direction? Hold that thought.
They came from the west, pushing east.
where would that put it on the map? Like, where would they have been pushed towards?
It would be in this general location.
Okay.
How long ago was this?
Hold on. Let me find that out, too. Let me go into my brain and find this out.
I gave you all kinds of liberty, man.
Okay, fine. It happened just a few short days ago.
Aye.
I was out on a little, mission run trying to expand my congregation. And I came back to the church, and it was vacant. And my poor choir, some of them were dead.
Preacher and see if he or any of their people saw anything. Might help us locate them a little bit easier.
Wait.
That is sound thinking.
On foot, did we notice anything while we were on the boat ride going down?
Did
It's like-
we notice a massive congregation being chased by ghouls?
Well, not even that. Just anything weird, like just suddenly, like
Hey,
blood
look at that.
along the.
You guys came up the river from the south. You did not see any sort of settlements or camps or anything come up the way that you came.
Now, I know it's the ghouls because their remains were in my church. There was a scuffle. So I suspect it's the ghouls. I'm not 100% sure, though.
Do you know anywhere around here that they would potentially head towards? Like, besides your congregation or this place, is there any...
That's a good question. I did always talk about that nearby vault. Maybe they ran there.
Well,
I could see Moncrief's face looking at me from behind. And her laser beam eyes are digging into the back of my head.
You're not wrong.
So I guess we can prepare to make a venture there, though I do fear we are going to need supplies for that, because what meager supplies we do have currently probably aren't going to fare well against a I don't actually know what a group of ghouls, what would that be
gaggle?
called?
The gaggle of ghouls.
Gaggle of ghouls.
Better than a
A legion.
Murder.
Yeah, murder.
It's a scientific term. Gaggle of ghouls.
No, we could actually a murder of ghouls though.
A murder of
Murder
ghouls.
schools is pretty good.
That's pretty sweet.
Okay, you guys are standing outside this elevator deep down and deep down in the earth. What are you going to
Well,
do?
if we're not going to be going
We
down, I
haven't
might
gotten
just...
anywhere.
Yeah, we haven't gotten down yet.
Do you wanna pull out core for now? Just since it's no point in keeping it powered up if we're not going to use it, and that makes sure that the core is.
Yes, indeed. I pull it out.
That
Everything
said-
is black.
I would like to just sort of, since I'm pretty nice and well rested ass so far, I want to just tinker at it for a bit and see if I can mend, repair, or check anything about greasing it. Because whilst we're not doing it right now, I have nothing better to do than lay the foundation for later.
Go for it. Great plan.
But if I can always find just, I don't know.
For one.
No!
Okay, go ahead and make me a mechanics check.
Not
I'll
a
leave the
natural
frames.
one. It is a 20. What the fuck is? Pardon my language.
I speak French.
It's a 25.
Look at that!
You feel that after examining this and with some small repairs, you could probably make this sturdy enough to take you guys down, but not all at one time.
I mentioned that, and I'm like, so that's something we could do, but that would mean we'd need to send people who are more well adept at weathering anything that might be hostile at the bottom, since we wouldn't be able to send everyone at once. I also then go down, ask Isaac see if I can borrow a page from his book for a second.
Which page?
An empty page.
Oh, okay. I'll flip to like the last page of the book, rip it out, hand it to him.
I scribbled down a weight limit for the thing and maximum 2 passengers. And just stick it there. There.
When you draw a line, you must be taller than this on it also.
It is now effectively mildly idiot-proof.
I don't think that they'll be trying to use it in the first place.
You never know.
This is true.
They now have the ability to distill pure water. They're well on their way to making moonshine. And
Well,
they
it
are
was very
very
polite.
miserable.
Regardless, it was extremely polite of you to make these recommendations. And that's all she says, because she doesn't really care.
Anyways, that's that for now. Yeah, I guess we ought to find out if there's like a vendor or something in town, so we can maybe buy bullets. I feel like we're gonna need a lot.
Or check with the head honcho.
Yeah, preacher. Sending us off to our deaths with the fusion core that's going with us. Might wanna. I actually, by the way, I look and I'm like, you seem proficient at handling people. Moncrief, was it? Yeah, I just say it might be if we're going to be venturing off to do something for the settlement. It might be good to emphasize that we're also carrying the fusion core with us, since they're sending us towards something that is a combination of a death trap and a murder of ghouls. Now that we have that term all scientifically set.
And agreed upon.
Arlie, when you did your character description, didn't you say that your skull was like cracked, like right on the hairline?
It's like there's bits of skin missing, like you can
Okay.
see bone in parts. He
Okay.
looks literally like a corpse.
Okay. She's gonna just walk over to you and gently put her hand like on the side of your head and like smooth out a wrinkle from where your flesh is separated and like kind of push it back together like silly putty. And she's just gonna do that real fast. And she'll say like, okay.
Yeah. Give it a few more 100 years and there probably won't be skin there anymore to worry about. Now, whether I'll have any fraction of intelligence left by that point is another question entirely.
So what's the plan, guys?
Yeah,
Chicken.
Waiting for the morning.
Yeah, chicken.
No.
Anything you're gonna do before you pass this evening?
Buy ammo.
Buy ammo?
I mean, we can talk to Preacher about the ammo first, since we have the whole card of if you send us off to our death, you're losing that fusion core.
This is true. This is true.
That was the, yeah.
And I'll take a moment to inquire to see if Preacher has seen anything regarding my congregation. Have they heard anything? Yada yada.
Okay.
The typical gather information.
I remember that being a skill.
You approach Preacher, who, I guess this is the next morning, so they're all sort of getting up and going about their little chores for the day. Again, always the laser rifle on his shoulder. You approach him. So, Father, what can I help you with today?
Preacher. And do I know that he was formerly a child of the Etum? One of the children?
You definitely...
Is there an outward sign?
There's no outward sign that shows that he was.
Do I know from just being in that invite, being a member myself, and there's rumors and this and that? Is he?
Go ahead and give me... Let's just do a history check, because this is kind of a weird one.
Okay. And 18 plus 20.
20. You are familiar with Preacher. Actually, you know he used to be running a small congregation of his own not too far from here. Up in an area called Westland Lake. Used to be an old church of Adam up there. You know, there has been some inner turmoil amongst them. The place pretty much turned on themselves.
Got it. Cool. Well, I say, what, Preacher, now, we all know that, not a true believer these days, but I won't hold that against you now. But
And I
my
won't hold
congregation...
against you for being one.
Oh, now, Preacher, let's not get nasty now. We can work together here. I know you want this fusion core, and all I want is my congregation back.
Well, when you're right, you're right.
Yes. We're all going to travel one day to Eden, to Ground Zero, and embrace the light of the Atom ourselves. And that will be a glorious day indeed. But I don't plan on making that trek alone. Have you heard or seen anything about my lost congregation? My best guess is they ran to the vault.
Well, not many safe places around here nowadays. The vault would probably be your best idea. The only place they could probably lodge up, unless they got lucky.
As I figured. Well, thank you, Preacher. We're going to make our way out now in the morning. Is there any way you could accommodate us with some extra ammunition? Because I do expect some resistance. Everyone keeps saying murder of ghouls and all.
Well, there's more than ghouls out there, friend. But I'm sure we can oblige you in some ways.
Oh, that's very good of you. I thank you.
A Destiny. Sweet child, come here. And his daughter comes walking over, sort of looks you up and down.
I'm like, hello, little angel. And I hold out my hand for the ammo she's about to dump on us. Are you here to help us assist us with some ammunition?
She looks down at your hand and looks back up at you and just makes a motion with her head like this way.
You must be a teenager.
Actually, she does not have a tongue.
Oh, shit. Allow me to take my foot out of him. I thought...
Isaac and Maxwell are just like in the background going like...
Well, I do declare, I am just right down embarrassed.
She leads you over to... It's like a locked cage almost, and behind it you see a small weapons cache that they seem to keep upon them. It's something that they're definitely not handing out to everybody by any means, but just some backups. You do find some, about 20 rounds of 44
Beautiful
ammo.
I'm kind of trailing behind him,
Yeah, absolutely.
kind of looking over his shoulder, sort of not being very obvious.
Yeah, I'm out. Miss Moncrief, step on up. They're assisting us with extra ammunition. Help yourself.
There is a 10mm pistol there with 15 rounds of ammo.
Okay.
If anybody wants to pick,
that.
you pick that up.
I pull back my coat and I pull up my skirt. I slide that into a thigh holster that you totally didn't know was there. That was 15 rounds of ammo. Is that what you
Yes.
said?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a 2d6 piercing for those rounds, and a range of 50-150, and it holds 12 rounds. So,
Anything else there?
I am looking here because I am making this up as I go.
All I'm imagining, though, is my Pit-Boy interface going...
Let's see. There is 20 rounds of 12-gauge ammo.
Sweet.
And a shotgun to accompany it.
What?
I would like
Shotgun.
that. Because you already have a shotgun, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. I just have a single pistol and no spare clips.
It's a long sawed-off barrel shotgun.
Okay. Split the ammo.
Mm-hmm.
It was, did you say 20?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 10 for each of us.
Hmm.
What are the deets on that shotgun?
It would be 44 piercing.
Mhm.
Has a range of 30, 90. So it is a single shot.
Nice.
Two-handed, so obviously. And one last thing. There is a...
Frag grenade.
No, not a frag grenade. There is a hunting rifle. And 20 rounds of .308. If anybody wants to take that with them.
I don't want to take anything since I'm guest starring.
I mean, you could always take it to go and give it to Trinity, I guess. when we
At the
find her.
end.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that then. I'll
Baton
grab that.
pass it.
There we go. I'll take that 308.
Yeah, poor old Trinity, who's been walking around with like a longbow and...
And what's the damage on that 308?
Oh, the 308. I just had it open too. It is 2d6 piercing.
Nice.
Reload every 5 rounds. It has a range of 80 to 40. Alrighty. So you guys pretty much clear this cache out. What are you gonna do now?
I mean, this is, I guess, where we wait till morning and start our
Mhm.
trek.
Yeah.
Isaac, I have a plan though. One last thing we can do is prep.
You know, whenever you start something out by going, I have a plan, it always worries me a little bit. What's your plan? Is it involved with somehow corralling large, horrible, evil monsters to...
Isaac, I have a second plan.
What
Thank
is
you
it?
for inspiring me for the second plan.
What is your idea for the first thing? Because we're not talking about harvesting squirrels.
No,
Right.
we weren't going to harvest them. We were going to redirect them towards the ghouls as a distraction. But fine. The first plan, and he pulls out the like almost spent but not spent fusion core. We're going to make an improvised explosive.
Can we wait until we're out of the mine before we do that? And preferably a little bit of ways from everyone else?
I mean, but wouldn't the humane thing be to go into
No.
a contained area not near a water source?
A water source that is already irradiated. We're not blowing up these people.
I mean, I have faith in you, Isaac.
That's great.
And myself, obviously.
I'm not trying to make an improvised explosive in the middle of a settlement.
Fine. Would you be willing to do so in front of the settlement? Because we are not venturing out there in the middle of God knows what and being eaten apart by squirrels, and I don't think it would be very safe to do that while on the move.
Can I do a science check to see if I think it would be possible to do this? Safely?
I'm going to assist.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so that is going to be a 25.
Yes, you could do it. The question of safety seems to be hazardous. It's a very
I
depleted
could deal-
core.
I could deal with the actual more dangerous aspects of it because I cannot be irradiated.
You're not quite sure what its explosive capabilities are. You don't really have a way to measure how much of the core is left, or its half-life at this time. So, you can
Let
make it
me
go
sleep.
boom.
Let me sleep on it.
I'm just going to remind you of one thing. There was at least 30 of them that came last time, and we weren't diving into the middle of their territory.
Mm-hmm. More of a prepping myself to potentially explode and die kind of deal.
Okay. Sleep well on it then, Isaac.
Yeah,
I'll see you
thanks.
in the morning.
Thanks.
So you guys have got your weapons. It's the next morning. Are you heading out? Doing anything before you
Okay.
leave?
Let's do this.
All
Oh, yeah.
right.
Maxwell has the
Alright.
whole thing laid
Yep.
out.
Yep.
He's also asking the good father to join in on this, considering the symbol and everything. He's like, you seem like a man of science. You might appreciate this. Perhaps you'd like to participate in this little creative endeavor.
Sounds like a plan. What is it? What are the details?
We're gonna
I-
make something explode. Eventually,
Ooh.
not now.
Oh, that sounds fabulous.
Yeah.
You can count me in.
So, with 3 of us working on this, I'm making the roll this time.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
I make
no.
So are we making science
Oh, God,
checks?
no. Oh,
Or
God, no.
mechanics? Oh, there is no mechanics.
It'd be like a science check. In Fancy, you see the 3 of them congregating around this old, depleted fusion core. What are your
I'm not-
reactions or actions at this point?
Fancy is not in any way surprised that 3 men are standing around something that could potentially kill them and just oblivious to the risk.
Or knowledgeable about it, but
Yeah.
excited.
But
Maxwell.
ignoring the risks anyways.
Yes, and arguing over which wire. Red wire, red wire.
Well, if you kill yourselves, there's 3 less mouths to feed here, so.
Ooh.
Alright.
Are you keeping a distance?
Oh, God, yes.
How far are you keeping a distance?
Probably
At
back in
least
the mine.
50 feet.
At least 50 feet. Excellent.
I recommend for her to sit by the water purifier, because I'm like, there's also cover there, and it's likely the safest place. If you start
She
now,
does
you'll
not
have a
listen
pretty
to
good
a
head
damn
start.
thing. She doesn't listen to a damn thing you recommend. This was your idea.
So you're gonna
Valid.
make me a mechanics tool proficiency? I think that's the correct one.
Yeah. Do I get advantage with
Yep.
all these fine folks helping me?
Yeah, you'll get advantage. I can't give you double advantage, unfortunately, but I can give you advantage.
Well, the first roll is a 5, but the
Oh,
second
jeez.
roll is a 19.
19.
Yeah.
Plus my intelligence and proficiency.
Nice.
So
that's-
overall, 23.
You don't explode.
I wasn't worried for a second.
I was terrified.
What actually happens, I think, is that 5 is he clicks, you see something flash, and then he clicks something else really quickly, and he just sort of like plinks the things together. He's like, it's good. It's
And
good.
there's a little vapor of smoke.
Yes. So you have what essentially you believe would be some sort of small fusion bomb about this big.
Yes.
What could possibly go wrong?
We just need to find some lunch boxes and bottle caps, and we're in.
You guys are just outside. You and the new morning sun. Slightly cloudy. Looks to be rain on the horizon. But a nice cool breeze flowing down the riverside.
Let's make an atomic rainbow.
And you have a river to cross ahead of you.
Oh, joy.
Actually, Isaac, map, is there any places that might be best to ford since we lack a boat?
You could go further down next to where the boat exploded not too long ago. I believe, Fancy, you came from the north, if I'm correct, right? From Huntington? You know that there is most of a bridge about 4 miles north here along the old road.
Okay. I'm gonna keep that information to myself for a minute. I want to know what they do. I want to know how smart they are.
It's
Made a
not.
bomb.
It's not a large river here by any means, but you're gonna guess probably 30 feet wide at its widest at this point, nearby.
I was just gonna take a look and see if anybody has done any like makeshift bridges
It does
along
not.
the.
Not in this area. It does not appear to be. No.
Then what would be the thinnest point on the map for the river?
It's about 25 feet closer down south where the boat exploded.
It seems like
Where you exploded the boat.
where the boat exploded, and I may have contributed, but we definitely can't say.
I watched that episode.
Okay, so it looks like the thinnest point will be a little bit down the river.
Yep.
We might be able to put something together to help us cross it there.
Miss Moncrief, does that agree with you?
Well, y'all blew up a boat down there, right?
Yep.
So maybe we should go the other direction. There is a bridge up there that might be able to sustain some travelers.
Bridges sound better.
Agreed.
It'll be a few miles, but it was there when I came through here yesterday.
It's also better than braving the water because the ghouls can sit under there.
Yeah.
Yes. And
If you
isn't the
guys
reason
see-
that boat exploded ghouls?
If you guys see bubbles in the water, yeah, that's ghouls.
Oh boy.
Usually a lot of them.
Okay.
So let's go up north.
I should have taken
What
Chum.
about the ghouls? Are the bubbles?
Oh, they just sit under the water.
I'm
Just
guessing
under.
it's breath, maybe.
I'm not saying it. I'm thinking it though.
Bath
Who
time.
the
was-
last
That
wasn't
was
sitting well.
purely just because I wanted to make Josh laugh.
It worked too.
Sorry. Aside over, back into being a
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have decided to go north. It's going to take you probably roughly an hour. It's not that far. If you're going that way, before I start on
Yeah.
with my little spiel.
Nah,
So
she
you
has a
follow
smart
this
plan.
broken road north outside of Crum. It's not as wooded here. You can see where the mountainside, or not the mountainside, the hillside has been sort of cut a long time ago to make room for this road. And you see in the distance here, probably after a travel, like an hour of travel, like I said, this mostly functional looking bridge. Seems to be made of old steel. I mean, very rusted, don't get me wrong, but it still has all of its trusses. Very passable looking. You do not see any activity near it. Some broken down vehicles are lined on sides of it, but other than that, you don't see much going on.
But it looks like sound enough to.
From where you're at, it looks to be sound,
Okay.
yes.
Can I get a little bit closer and maybe look at it a little bit more scientifically or mechanically?
Sure.
I'm just gonna bravely venture forward while he's doing this because if I fall in the river, I'm not gonna drown.
Yeah, and I'd like to make a perception check if possible too, just to see what's off in the distance and any
would
hints of it.
also-
All right, here I go.
Okay.
And that's not a really great roll. Okay,
Mine was a 15.
I got a 10.
Eh.
Remember, if you have luck, you can always spend it.
I do have a point of luck. I'm gonna spend it. No, actually, I'm gonna save it.
Save that. Calm down.
Yeah, I'm not spending it on a perception. Yeah.
And then for like mechanics, I guess, 19.
Okay. So, we'll just go down here. You... How am I going to say this exactly? Father Nidal, you're looking off in the distance. You see, I mean, way, way back past the hillside into the woods, it looks like an inky trail of smoke rising up to in the air.
I call it out. Do you see that? And I point to the smoke.
In fancy, you two see it. It looks to be several miles off. But other than that, you don't see anything in the immediate area that catches your attention. Isaac, you are checking this bridge, and you don't seem to find any fault in the structure. It's not in the best shape, obviously, but it can handle some bodies walking across it.
Perfect. Maxwell, you fall through.
I was like expecting that. Just like you walk on it. It's perfectly structurally sound. There's still traps on it that are perfectly sound.
It explodes.
Should have asked the right question.
So Maxwell, you went out on the bridge?
Oh yeah, he was just like whatever. I mean,
All right.
I'm not scared.
I'm gonna have my rifle out and just kind of, have it ready to go, kind of prepping in action if anything dangerous comes out, to ambush Maxwell. Want to hopefully get a shot off.
Okay. Are you guys going to be making your way across this bridge at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make your way across it.
had shotgun.
Okay, so you guys are drawing your weapons, prepared, walking across this bridge.
Yep.
You keep off to the left side of it where most of the cement and the railing is all in one piece. Looking down to the river below you, swooshing past, dark and murky. You do not see anything inside of it at this point, but even if there was, you probably wouldn't be able to regardless, as murky as it is. And you make
I hit my VATS repeatedly just so I can trigger any mines that are on the bridge.
Right. Or you just came up with fancies at the back of her head constantly.
Right.
You make your way across the bridge with no mishaps.
Oh, that was stressful.
Over nothing.
I thought the fusion bomb was the most stressful thing we've done this campaign.
No, crossing that damn bridge, I thought for sure someone was.
Bridges and doors, man. They are the most deadly things in tabletop games.
I think it's a video game thing, but I always think of them of like loading screens because of Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have a loading screen here as you guys, well, Father Nidal has returned, but I think the rest of you, this is your first time in Kentucky. You've crossed the river over to the other side.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Kentucky before.
It is 10 o'clock. It's at the end of our normal scheduled time.
That went so fast.
Yes, it does go very fast. So let's
We
put on
didn't blow up again this time.
I know, no one died.
No one died.
Science bro.
And yes, actually, Science Trio. High five.
I'm just waiting for Isaac to, not Isaac, but Maxwell to fall with that fucking fusion bomb in his pocket and see if it goes off or not. Because that could happen.
If it is, I want it to be I want it to happen like after you fall like down like a cliffside.
There you go.
And you like hit. It shoots you right back up to us.
All right, guys. So
Not intact, but it shoots me up to you guys.
We'll put on some lighter music here. And I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of outro real quick. I'll just go in the normal order here. How about you, Adam? Go ahead and tell people where you can find you at, what you got going on.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? You can find me here on Sundays. You can find me over on Thread Raiders every other Tuesday. We are starting Shadowrun 5th edition. And you can actually catch me there this Tuesday playing as another doctor named Isaac, a Malkavian in Vampire the Masquerade, who's very, very different than this Isaac. Then on Wednesdays, I DM my homebrew game over on Thread Raiders, Yardle Wolf's Age. We will not be meeting this week because I have inventory on Wednesday, so I will be up at like 3 in the morning. So yeah, I will be asleep at our normal stream time. Thursdays, Curse of Strahd over on my Twitch channel, same as my Twitter handle, everything else handle. And then Fridays, it's Threads of Fate over on Soulbear RPG. So I'm everywhere. I'm somewhere most days of the week. It's fun.
When do you sleep exactly?
I sleep for like 6 hours, then I wake up at 4 a.m. It's a fun existence. And we're actually going to be starting another campaign that I kind of built the world for alongside TK. I'm not going to be DMing it. I'm going to be playing it. I don't think we're going to be streaming it, which is totally cool because then we'll have a couple games that we'll just be able to like dick about with.
Cool.
But it's going to be really fun. Yeah, I have like 2 nights a week where I don't game, which is great. It's fun.
Awesome. Hannah, hi.
Hi.
What you got going on?
Well, I play here.
Mm-hmm.
This was my first game, but hey, play. But I play here. I'm thinking that in a month from now, I'm gonna be on Saevrick's Saturday Greyhawk game. Just gonna go ahead and throw that out there.
She's pushed herself into it.
Yeah, basically.
I'm here now.
I basically just said I have to be in it.
I live here.
So otherwise, I don't get to play D&D that often, or any TRPGs. Spend a lot of time rating them. You can find them on the DM's Guild. And then I spend a lot of time playing with a tiny human that I like. So that's pretty much what I do all the time.
Tiny humans are okay.
And you guys just
Yeah.
released something not very long ago, didn't you?
Well, we did Masquerade de Lolth last
Yeah.
month. This month we're releasing one called the Golden Pond,
Ooh.
and that should be out soonish.
So,
And then we've got a supplement to Masquerade de Lolth, which is an arachnid companion that has a whole bunch of CRs, like 1 to 24.
nice.
Nice.
New spiders. They're fabulously frightening. I love them.
That sounds amazing.
Sounds terrifying.
You can find me at Stop That Old Woman across pretty much any social media platform that exists. I just got on Snapchat and I'm a complete idiot, so that's fun. Anyway, thanks.
How about you, Arlie?
You can basically find me at God damn it, it's at Azakare on. The weird part is I got stuck with that, but it's at Azakare on Twitter. Though if you search Arlyeon, you'll find me, and I'm at Arlyeon on Twitch, and I'm also at Crit Hit Ent on YouTube. And I basically just do a bunch of indie gaming stuff because I love indie games. I love all
They're
those.
pretty great.
Chasm, Valda's Story, Salt and Sick, like all these great games that are coming out, and just so many different ideas than like a lot of the stuff that we get thrown at us and iterated. And so I love doing my part to support that. But I'm also a huge tabletop nerd, and I'm so happy that I got to actually be a part of like Saevrick's game,
It's
and
pretty
haven't died yet.
Yet.
Haven't died yet.
You just jinx yourself.
Oh no, the
Next-
yet's there. 'cause
Next
We're
I'm
session.
dead, man. We're dead.
Next session starts. Maxwell trips, falls in the river, goes down, and poof! As Shelby's boat explodes a second time as you run into it.
Oh. And we get the achievement fishing because of all the mutated fish that just fly out of the river.
There you go. At least I didn't have to bug you this time.
Yeah, and other than this, I'm part of a D&D session for Curse of Strahd that a friend runs on Tuesdays that I host.
Awesome.
And there is a Shadow of the Demon Lords tabletop that we're currently in the process of producing, and I have a composer actually working on a soundtrack for stuff for it. It is a very long project, and it started. Save, do you know anywhere? Like I talked to you about it back when it was starting. I don't remember how long ago that was. Like at least somewhere last year, I think.
At least.
Yeah, it's been a thing that was in the works for a long time, and it's finally clicking together, and I'm so happy.
We're happy for you, and I'm glad to have you here too. So it's reciprocated. Mr. Dave.
Yo, yes. Well, first I want to say thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome, and being a part of this game. I just found out I'm going to be here for the next one too, for part 2 of this adventure, so I'm super stoked. Yeah, super fun. Thank you guys. I am one of the dungeon masters over at Real Chaotic Good. You just follow us on Twitter, and then when we stream on Friday nights, and we're just a bunch of old goofballs that have been we've known each other since high school, and we've all been gaming together for all these years, and we're just all best buds, and the game kept us together. So I'm like friends with my high school friends still. It's amazing. But yeah, so we stream on Fridays on Periscope, so you just have to follow Real Chaotic Good on Twitter, and it'll pop up on your Twitter feed. And we play for like an hour and drink a bunch of beer and just act like fools. And yeah, that's it.
That's how you play.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
A lot of fun. I got to meet Mr.
Yeah.
Dave and Mr. Mason from real kind of good at Gen Con. Had a blast.
Oh man, so much fun.
So looking forward to do it again. And I guess that leaves me. Nobody cares about me. I do this. I DM this game. I DM a Planescape game every other Saturday. You can find it here on twitch.tv/Saevrick. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at both Saevrick. Let's see what else I got going. Oh, a Greyhawk game that I'm planning on running. That's right.
When does that start?
I think it said the 6th. Was it?
Yeah.
I currently have open submissions because I need players. And I'm going to announce here, the title of that is going to be The Rise of the Temple of Elemental Evil. So we are going to the city of Hamlet.
Wow, the village of Hamlet.
So this is the first time I've announced what's going to happen, where it's going to be at, and I need players. So if you want to, by all means, look on my Twitter there. You can find the link to apply for that. I'm really excited to get started. It is going to be running on the Greyhawk channel. So
Wow, that's fantastic.
it's going to be a good
Temple
time.
of Elemental Evil was the first place I ever died in D&D.
So that's what's going on in my life, and I'm really excited to get started with it. I'm going to let these guys get some sleep because it's getting late for some of us. Maybe not you West Coasters, you're still good, but
We're fine.
so thanks everybody for showing up and for the bits, and for, I think, Maddie resubscribed, which is awesome.
Nice.
So we will see you all next Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. So
Not as hard as Fusion Hot Potato, though.
nor as hot as the conversations we were having before starting the stream this evening, which were disturbing. Snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah, baby. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Oh yeah.
Ciao.